you ever felt like your cat completely ignores you? Like they live in their own world and you're just some strange object in the house? What if I told you they really don't see you as a human? That's right, your cat sees you in a much deeper, unexpected way. Most owners make a critical mistake. They assume cats act distant out of coldness or indifference. But what if the problem isn't the cat, but the way you interpret their signals? In this video, you'll uncover mind-blowing truths about feline behavior, what your cat really thinks of you, and how to transform that bond into something deeper and more connected. If you truly want to understand your cat, watch this to the end. The next few insights will change everything. 1. A cat's brain works differently from ours. The feline brain evolved in a unique way, specially adapted for hunting, silence, observation, and interpreting subtle cues. They're not wired to obey, please, or interact for social convenience, like dogs are. This means they build relationships based on association, repetition, and emotional energy. To a cat, the environment and the people in it are all part of a complex ecosystem that must make sense on their terms, not ours when. A cat watches you. They're not just looking. They're analyzing your movements, your tone, your patterns, even your scent. They don't recognize you as a human with a name, job, or personality. They detect patterns, and those patterns tell them whether you're trustworthy, predictable, safe, or a potential threat to their territory. This processing happens intuitively and instinctively. That's why if you change your routine, they get suspicious. When you bring over guests, they hide. When you scold them for something they don't understand, they withdraw. It's not attitude. It's not coldness. It's self-preservation. The feline brain is driven by ancestral triggers that dictate everything they do. And once you understand that, you start seeing every behavior in a new light. The big question is, have you truly tried to understand how your cat's inner world works? Or have you been expecting them to act like a human, or worse, like a well-trained dog? This mistake, made by thousands of owners, is the leading cause of frustration and distance. And it can only be fixed once you start seeing your cat through the right lens, the lens of respect for their natural instincts. 2. He sees you as a giant cat, but a strange one. As strange as it may sound, cats don't recognize you as a completely different, rational human being. They build relationships based on instinct and behavior. When you start living with a aces cat, they gradually include you in their social structure. And that often means they see you as another cat. But not just any cat, a giant, confusing cat who behaves unpredictably. What makes your cat consider you part of their feline family isn't what you say, it's what you do. When your cat rubs their face against you, they're marking you as territory. A gesture, reserved for cats they fully trust. When they follow you to the bathroom or lie next to you, they're saying, "You're one of mine." It's a silent honor, an invitation into their world. But at the same time, this giant cat, you, often behaves in contradictory ways. Sometimes you invade their space, pick them up by force, yell when they knock things over, or ignore them when they want attention. This creates confusion. Your cat isn't sure if they can trust you all the time. And that's why, even though they recognize you as a fellow feline, they keep emotional and physical distance in certain moments. This perception of a strange giant cat defines most human-cat relationships. And the key to changing that is consistency. If you behave predictably, respect their space and timing, and provide a stable environment, your cat will start to see you as a true member of the group. Maybe even the alpha, maybe the caregiver. But above all, someone they've chosen to trust. 3. The secret language you ignore every day. If you still haven't figured out what your cat wants, it might not be his fault. Cats speak through their body, their eyes, their tail, and their sounds. But we humans are illiterate in this language, and when we fail to decode the signals, we miss precious opportunities to build real connection. Most conflicts with cats arise from the lack of translation between what they express and how we interpret it. The famous slow blink, for example, is a deep gesture of trust. When your cat slowly blinks at you, he's saying, "I feel safe with you." And if you blink back, he understands that the feeling is mutual. As for meowing, something many believe to be a natural way for cats to communicate with each other, it was actually developed exclusively to talk to humans. They learned how to speak to us. Tail position is also an open letter of intentions. A raised tail with a curled tip is a sign of affection. A tail whipping back and forth sharply means irritation. Ears pinned back, dilated pupils, lowered. Body. These are all clear forms of emotional expression. But if you insist on interpreting your cat using dog behavior or human logic, you'll always think he's weird. Learning your cat's language is not a luxury. It's a necessity if you want a relationship based on respect and understanding. The moment you start recognizing the signs, everything changes. You'll realize that he was always trying to communicate. And now, finally, you've started to listen. And that's the beginning of a true and profound bond. 4. The feline traumas you don't know about. You may not realize it, but your cat carries trauma. And many of those wounds were formed long before he walked through your door. Abandonment, rejection, chaotic environments, abuse, or even premature separation from his mother. All of that leaves deep emotional scars. And those scars show up in behaviors that you, not understanding them, might be misinterpreting as quirks or tantrums. A cat that frequently hides might not be antisocial. He might be protecting himself. A cat that scratches aggressively might not be mean. He might be defending himself. A cat that avoids touch might not be cold. He might have learned that affection hurts. Every behavior is a reflection of the story he carries, and you'll only understand that when you stop judging and start observing with empathy. The problem is that many cat owners lack the patience for emotional reading. They want immediate results. They want the cat to adapt, behave, and return affection the right way. But traumatized cats don't function under pressure. They need space, time, and most importantly, safety. Only when they feel completely safe do they begin to show their true selves. Acknowledging your cat's trauma is the first step toward healing it. And that's not done with medicine or scolding. It's done with consistency, with routine, with respecting their pace. A traumatized cat can become the sweetest of companions if you have the courage to love him patiently. Because for a cat, trust is everything. And once broken, trust takes a long time to rebuild. 5. You are an energy to your cat, not a person. In the cat's world, energy speaks louder than words. They don't react to what you say, but to what you radiate. A person who walks in nervous, agitated, or anxious is perceived as a threat, even if they're smiling or holding treats. But someone who approaches with calm, patience, and respect is seen as trustworthy. For your cat, what you feel matters more than what you do. That's why, often when you're sad, he comes closer, but when you're angry, he disappears. The cat doesn't respond to your surface mood, but to the energy you emit. He senses your presence in the room before you say or do anything. This means that, to your cat, you're not just a body. You're an atmosphere, a field, an emotional state in motion. This heightened sensitivity comes from feline ancestry. Cats are both predator and prey, which has made them extremely attuned to their environment. They pick up on vibrations, frequencies, and intentions. So, when a cat lives with someone who's constantly stressed, shouting, or tense, he withdraws, gets sick, or starts behaving in odd ways. He's actually trying to survive emotionally. If you want to be truly loved by your cat, it's not enough to provide food and toys. You must offer a safe emotional space. That means taking care of yourself, reducing inner chaos, talking less, observing more, entering your cat's rhythm. Only then will he truly trust you. Because what wins a cat over isn't what you do. It's who you are when you're with him. Now that you know your cat has never seen you as a human, but as part of his territory, as another feline, as a living energy, everything changes. The way you communicate, the way you give affection, the moments of shared silence, all of that takes on a new meaning. He doesn't need you to talk. He needs you to feel alongside him, to respect, to be present, not pressuring. You're not raising a pet. You're cultivating a silent, ancestral connection with a being who carries thousands of years of instinctive wisdom. Cats aren't cold. They're deep. They're not distant. They're selective. And if he's chosen to be with you, that says more about your soul than you realize. Because cats don't stay where there's no truth. If this video helped you understand your cat better, share it with other owners who still feel confused, rejected, or frustrated. It might be the bridge that transforms many relationships out. There. And if you want to keep diving deeper into this mysterious and fascinating feline universe, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell.